Hello, this is Godel, and welcome back to the Islands of Insight static puzzle series. If you're just joining me from the previous episode, you probably noticed that had not moved a single inch, because this is a double recording session here. Huzzah. So yeah, we're gonna just continue on in this enclave for a little bit. There are, like, some of the hardest viewpoint puzzles in the game in this enclave. Like, whatever's happening here. The number 5. But all numbers are off by 1. Oh, oh gosh, that that made me sick to look at a little bit. Let's do a couple puzzles here, and then we are going to probably take a break from these super hard enclaves and head back down here to the Syrian Deluge, which looks so tiny from up here. We are up so high, and do some of the static puzzles and quest around there. So let's see. Let's hit up. Let's do this 3-star puzzle that's off on the side. Thinking it's all sneaky. Okay, so we have connect all light cells. Yep. I think in this puzzle, what is happening in this puzzle? So I think one thing we can start with here is we can figure out the maximum scope of these view cells. So the maximum scope is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 cells left of it, counting itself, I guess. So we can say pretty confidently that there's no reason for there to be any dark tiles over here. And there would be no reason for there to be any dark tiles over here. Or there. So that gives us a little elbow there to work with. Now, we need to probably be... We're gonna have to, like, do some kind of, like, staircase here with these cells, basically. This is gonna make, like, a chain, so this 2 is gonna block one of these. So there's gonna be a light cell here, there's gonna be 1 light cell here, then there's gonna be 1 light cell here, then there's gonna be 1 light cell here, then there's going to be 1 light cell here, so that means there's a light cell here. And there's no light cell here. If we put a dark here, if we put a dark cell here, this would have to be dark. But if we put a light cell here, this would have to be dark. I feel like I just made a very obvious statement. Let's see what happens if we put a light cell here. We would have to block this in, and this in, and this, and this, and this, and this. So if we put a light cell here, we, like, make a sarcophagus of dark pieces around these tiles, so that can't go there. This 3 is going to have to come out there. Then, okay, now we can kind of start our chain going this way. So we have a light cell here, a light cell here, a light cell here, and a light cell here. I guess that's not as significant as I thought it would be. This over here finishes. Okay, so we have a light cell in one of these 2, and then a light cell in one of these 2, but these both have to be stopped. And then same thing over here. Ish. Have I made a terrible mistake with this? I'm looking at this staircase of 3s and I'm like, hold on. I mean, just that area up there, okay, I can get that I made a mistake up there, but I don't know what you want from me in this question mark. I'm just gonna leave it open for now. I think I made some bad logic when I said there had to be 1 here. Then there has to be 1 here. Because, yeah, this one could just go down as well. And then this one could go this way. Well, maybe it's because they're coming at it from both sides. That makes sense. I think my initial logic, how I got there, was wrong, but it was actually the right solution, which is, I mean, that's not really how you want to go about solving such such logic grids. Oh, and I had to pause to look at something for a second. Apparently, I left everything paused in the meantime. Maybe I'll try to edit that one out. But anyways, let's continue on here. Let me rehash my logic here. So there has to be one cell here, which means this is going to go one way. But if it's here, this could go this way, and then this one doesn't have to go this way. What has to happen here? We can't make a square here, though, so both of these can't be light. If both of them are light, we make like a sarcophagus. If both of them are dark, then we make a sarcophagus here. So there has to be one here. There has to be one here. And there has to be one here, so there has to be one here. Okay, so the logic is still correct. It's just I got there in a weird way. There has to be one here and then one out here as well. There can only be one here. If there's two here, then we're in trouble. So if there can only be one here, this one could either go down, down. This one could go left, up. Or it could go up, up. If it goes up, up, then I guess it can't escape this way if it goes up, up. So if there's a cell here, if there's a dark cell here, this has to go down. Because if it goes, or if there's another one here. Am I like speaking coherent sentences right now? I feel like maybe not. Okay, well this is embarrassing, but I just did the opposite of what I did a second ago, which was do puzzle progress while the recording was paused. Oh man, got things all messed up today. So what I deduced basically is that we had a foresight arrow down here, and I thought about it for a while, and I deduced basically we're gonna have to go like this, which means this 3 is not gonna come down here, so this is gonna have to come up here like this. Block these. This has to continue coming up. This comes out like this. And then this can't go this way. So this goes like that. And then I got to here and I was like, have I done everything correct so far? Let's use a foresight. Yeah, okay. So I'm okay so far. This still can't come through this corridor over here because this 2 blocks actually getting from here to here. So we have to continue coming up here through, like, the middle of the board. Okay. Good progress there. So now we're through the middle of the board. Ah, I see why it can't be any light cells up here. Because it's made a barrier for that corner. So yeah, sorry about the recording there. We have finished the highest viewpoint primary objective. Let's do a couple more of these before we head out. Let's hit one of these. Let's just hit one of these 5 stars. Let's do it. Where are we at? 5 star. Let's go. Right now. Oh gosh, I picked this one. Okay, well, shucks. So all of the 5s here have to be a 4 or a 6. So there are not actually any 5s in these view cells. So this one is actually already at the intersection of a 6, so we can say this is a 6. Now, all of these are 4 right now. If we decided... Let me see. If we decided they were all going to be a 4s, we also have the pentomino rule for dark cells. So every dark cell is going to have to be in pentomino. So if we decided these are all 4s in here, we would make a 4x1 up here that would be forced to make a 6x1. So these cannot all be 4s. Can some of them be 4s? Yeah, unfortunately. Let's see. This 5 has to be... All the 5s have to be at least a 4, but they have to be no more than a 6. So, let's see. Oh, man. Oh, man. So many numbers next to each other, but they're not even the same numbers. What about from the pentomino perspective? Can we have this be enclosed? What if we put a light cell here, we have to put a light cell in all of these, right? Because to make a we wouldn't be able to make a dark cell in here. I'm actually just going to go ahead and doodle on this puzzle because it's going to be too hard to just try to visualize. So now all of these 5s need to be 6s because they've all been turned into 5s. So if all of these 5s were 6s, then this would have to come out. Gosh, I don't know. Like, just even such a drastic thing like that, I can't make a determination immediately if that has any immediate negative ramifications for us of all of these 5s are now 6s. If all of these 5s are 6s, let's see. What if I put a cell here that's going to mention this? My dog decided to knock over something behind me. That scared me. So that's going to make something like this happening. So these are 6s. So that doesn't actually work. So we can't use any of these corners if all of these 5s are 6s. We have to use their, like, partner across from each other. So then what? Good question. There would have to be one more light cell up here. Or no, not necessarily. Well, I know, like, something just feels wrong about it. I know there has to be, like, a dark cell in here somewhere. I'm just not catching why, I think. It's a lot to think about. This is a 5-star puzzle. This is as hard as they come, basically. So I'll give myself a break on that one. But yeah, just the logic of if we have a light cell here, this is all going to be light, and then it's just going to cause all sorts of craziness. We really have, like, nothing. That's very restricted at all yet. What about this piece up here? I feel like we have to do something with this. If this is a 6... Let's see here. If we put a dark cell here, there has to be a dark cell here. Because... So if we put a dark cell here, there has to be a dark cell here. Because if we went down here, we would go 4, 5, 6, 7. But if we put a dark cell here and we put a dark cell here, then this has to be a 5. So I think we can not actually put a dark cell here. So I think we have to do that. Otherwise, we'd make a T shape here, and that would be a 5, and that would be stuck at a 5, and it cannot be a 5. So then this can't come a 7. And this has to become a 6 now. Okay. This has to become a 6. And this one could still be a 4. This one can't become a 7, so it has to become a 6 in this direction. This has to come down out. These can't connect. This has to be a 6 in that direction. Fill in the pentomino. This is either a 4. Either there's a dark cell here, or a 4, 5, 6. 4, sorry. So either there's a dark cell here or here. So we don't know if this is if we cap it off here or here yet, but we're gonna know at some point. Okay. So this has to be a 4 because we can't make it a 5. Oh no, what have we done? Help! Okay, we've made a mistake here. I'm gonna just undo to that point. Okay, so I think my mistake was I said if we go this way, we make a 6, and that's not true. So if we put a dark cell here, it's a problem. So this needs to be a dark cell. I'm just looking at this. If we cage this in, we can't make a 4 or a 6 here at this point. Actually, can we? Yeah, we can still make a 6, but then it messes that up. So that one has to be dark. Okay. Okay, never mind. I'm dumb. So that's going to be our 6, actually. That's going to be a 4. There we go. Okay, we fixed that. These could connect here, and that would finish that pentomino. If we finish this pentomino, we're going to end up with a big block of light cells in here again, so we need to consider before we do that. Alternative would be if this comes down here, then this grows into here a little bit. Let's just work with what we have a bit at the moment. So this 5, if it goes down, it has to block this in, so it has to stop there. These can't connect now. This 5 could go here and then stop. Finish that pentomino there. So we don't know if this pentomino is like this or like this at the moment. This 5 could come up as well. No, it cannot come up. So it has to come down at least 1. Because it could go up 1 now. Yeah, okay. Alright, what else is going to be going on here? If we made this come out all the way to here, let's say this was a dark cell here. If this was a dark cell here... If this was a dark cell here, this would have to come here and then stop there, and then that would have to go there and go there. This 4 would have to do this. Is this correct, though? I don't know. Let's try the other way around. If this was a light cell now, we could still do the same thing. Well, if this... well, we can't put a dark cell in here now, so this all has to fill in now. So now we're saying all of these have to be 6s, because we filled in this big mess of cells. This is gonna have to go there, otherwise that's a problem for that pentomino. This one is done. This one has to come out. That has to come out. We have to make a pentomino here, make a pentomino there, and make a pentomino there. There we go. Fudged it a little there at the end. Sometimes you can't figure it out entirely perfect, so you get like a breadcrumb and then you figure it out a little bit unintended. We're gonna leave the rest of the enclave for a future visit. Let's go and do some cleanup in the Serene Deluge. So, what do we have around here? I think there's actually a quest directly under here. Yeah, this, sea serpents. Is this going to be snakes, but with viewpoints? I see the snakes, but I do not see the viewpoints. Maybe those are to come. Okay, so we have to make snakes, and we have to avoid 4 in a row. So all of our snakes are gonna go at this weird, like they go and then they have to make a sudden turn. Okay, so we're gonna have to go around like so. I think that's all that we need to do for that one. Okay, and now we have to make a snake, but we have to keep all of our dark pieces in a rectangle. So, for example, we cannot put a light cell here, but we can have it turn here because there's no light cell here at this. So basically, all of our holes here are where the snake is going to have to turn. So something like this, I think. All right, cool. What do we got in this one? Okay, so no 4 in a row. If we try to go around this way, it's going to be blocked, so we have to turn here. Have to turn here. The no 4 in a row rule basically just means you have to turn where you have to turn. So here we have no rectangles, we have to turn it empty squares instead. Because empty square cannot be light. Okay. Now we have no S piece. So we can't make any sharp turns. We have to go at least twice before we make any turns. So something like this. Alright. I'm sorry, are you part of this enclave? This enclave has 12 puzzles. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I guess it's part of the enclave. All dark areas have region 2, so... Oh, and we have myopia areas here as well. That's neat. So this one has to have at least 3 light cells. This one has to have a lot of light cells. This one has to have one directly in front of it. Okay, there's our myopia cells solved. And these grids basically don't interact with each other at all. They're, like, completely separate. Not overlapping, or even, like, from off the screen grid. Okay, how are we going to start these up here? So we have to have at least a dark cell here. Because if we put a light cell here, we make a trapped 1 by 1. And then we can't go down with it, so we have to do this. Alright. Was that part of the sea serpents? Yeah, I mean, I guess. There wouldn't otherwise be myopia arrows in a puzzle. I just don't understand what the theme of that puzzle was, since it had nothing to do with serpents. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 for the 6 to come out. If we put a dark cell in here, it's actually an issue. We can't have any snake traps because we have a snake as well going here. So no snake traps. No snake traps. This is a snake trap. If we put a light cell here, we would make a snake trap here, so can't go here. This has to come out and around. This has to come out, so that is where this goes. This goes like that. Alright. Cool. And then we now have the same puzzles, but everything's been recolored, and now we have to go through the viewpoints. Okay, so these are still our start and end of our snake here. Let's fill in any snake traps. This has to go like this. Can't make a 2 by 2, so then this has to go like this. Okay. What is our 4 doing here? Well, our 4 can't turn, so our 4 is going to go up. This is going to go like this. And I guess that finishes our snake. Alright. Do I want to do the easy ones or the hard ones first? You knew it. Okay, so we have 1 by 1 view cells. We have a 3 here. Connect all dark cells. So if we connect this 4 to this diagonal lotus, that's going to introduce parity to this 4, and it's going to be forced on an odd parity, because we can't add 1 on a diagonal symmetry. So we cannot connect that, so that lotus is just, might as well have just been a 1 by 1 view cell, I guess. But now this 4 over here. So this 4 is going to have to touch this lotus. So it's going to have to, if it goes down, it's going to get a 3, and then it's going to have to go at least this way once. So that's going to have to do at least that at bare minimum. That makes those squares be symmetrically forced to do that. This 5 has to connect to this lotus, which is doing this. Now this 5 is done. The lotus has a barrier here and here. This 7 we need to get into odd parity. It's going to need to go up at least once. So now we have a 6 over here we need to worry about. And we need odd parity on the 7. So we either need to go... Well, it still could go up here, I guess. But what does that do for our 6 over here? Let's hold on that one for a second. Connect all dark cells. Let's not forget that rule exists. So we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. Get out of here. And get out of there. So this one cannot be the dark cell here, or the light cell for this 7. It's going to either have to be... This 7 is basically counting for both this 6 and itself at the same time, so it's either going to have to be here and cap it off, or here and cap the other ends off. So hold up on that one for a hot minute. So if this was light here... No, there's not enough information. I was going to see, like, if this was light, what would be happening with this, this cell here. Could it be either color? But no, we don't know, because this 5 might have to tap into it. Is this 5 able to grow without hitting this lotus? At the moment, yes. But at what cost? Looking at this 3 and the 5. Because this 5 could just grow without hitting this lotus. The 3 could also... So what if the 3 doesn't connect to the 5? So the 5 would then have to go and be 5 through this lotus. So it'd have to come through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5. So I think in either situation, actually, this 4 has to stop there. Now, whether the 5 goes through this lotus or not, still can't determine that, but this is correct so far, right? Yeah. Okay, thanks for the hint. Oh, connect all dark cells. We can't have a dark cell over here. That was actually a helpful hint. I don't know why I was so sarcastic about it. This has to be dark for that lotus. So... let's think here. Is there any reason for 3 not to do this and 5 not to do that? Nope, it looks good to me. Kind of just visualizing the whole thing at the end there. Okay. The same thing, but different. Okay, cool. We have connect all dark cells still. So let's get all of these out of there. This lotus doesn't have to do anything. But if it goes down, this 3 has to go here. And then this has to come out over here. Otherwise, this 3 has to go down and then over here-ish somewhere. Alright, I think, again, we cannot connect this 4 to a diagonal. It's going to make a parity situation. So this 4 has to come at least here. And then it can't go any further. So the 4 is going to actually finish off in this shape. Now this lotus could come down. Need to connect all dark cells. Everything else looks good at the moment. How exactly is this different than the other one? A couple of the lotuses are turned a different way, but besides that, everything's the same number in the same place. Alright, are all of our lotuses we have so far, do they make sense? Yeah, I think so. So this 7 has to come at least 2 tiles this way. And then our 7 is stopped here by this lotus. We can't connect this to that over there. We also can't connect this to in here now, so if this 5 had any hopes and dreams of coming up here, well, too bad for it. So I think we actually need to block that off in there to prevent the dark cells. Dark has to come through here. The 7 is even more confined now, so we have 6, 7. When you put a cell and it hits a red, and you put the other cell and it also hits a red. Alright, what did we mess up? That was a long time ago. Holy, hold on. Why did I put a dark cell up here? Jeez. Okay, let me just restart what I was doing from here. Oh, Lord. Okay, this was still a thing we had to do. This has to come here. So now this lotus isn't closed in like it was before, because that was a mistake. If this lotus connects to this 5, what's going to happen? Let's just see. So it goes like this. And then it needs one more, so it has to come up here. Now there's a 5 tacked on over here. What is this 5 gonna do? Well, it has to tack on like that. Okay, so this lotus has to isolate itself. So we put a dark cell here, we'd have to come all the way up here for this one. If we put a dark cell here, it's the same situation. If we put a dark cell here, there has to be a dark cell here. If we put a light cell here, then we're in trouble. So there has to be a dark cell here. That has to go like that. This has to come out. That doesn't have to come out. Close off the symmetry in here. This probably needs to be closed off, but we don't know yet. So we're going to hold on that one. What is this 3 going to do down here? So this 6 can't come over and touch this lotus. So the 6 is stuck to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If this 5 touches the lotus, then we have to put a block here. Can we finish the 6 though? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we could. I'm looking. I'm looking, but I'm not seeing. Can this 7 go here without this lotus? So let's see. Let's assume it's not going to connect to the lotus at all. That means it would have to finish up here all by itself. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Interesting. So this lotus can isolate itself from this, or the 7 can isolate itself from this lotus completely if it needs to. What about if it didn't do that? So let's assume there's a dark cell here. So it could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this lotus would flip it to the 6, and that'd be a problem. Okay, so this lotus cannot connect to that 7. It makes a problem for itself. Now we can go over here. We can't connect those. That would make a big problem. If we connect this over here... If we connect this, then we can't connect the 5 to the 6. And then the 5 gets stuck, being a 3. So we cannot connect the 5 to the lotus. So that lotus is now, like, completely out of the picture. The dark cells have to come out. Any reason for this to be a light cell? Not that I can see. So we'll just make that dark. Which probably means that this has to actually come up here and connect like so. Nice. Alright, all dark areas have the same shape and size. All dark areas have region 4. Alright, so all dark areas are going to be an S. S, to make an S, this has to come like that. I don't know why I had to think about that for so long. Alright. Sea Serpents, 11 out of 12 done. Let's finish the last one. I guess if you're really struggling on that 2-star one, you could opt to not finish it there, but it's not the life we live. Also, I don't know what this has to do with serpents anymore, still. Okay. Oh, no 2 dark areas have the same shape and size. Okay, so similar to what we did before, but now we need to do it without doing all S's. Now we have to pick different shapes. So this up here is either going to have to be a T or an L piece. So if it's a T piece, we go like this. If it's an L piece, we go like that. I said that backwards, but in any case, this has to be dark, and then this one has to be... Wait, no. This one has to be dark. Okay. Now we can't have a S piece here. So let's see. What are we going to do about this? How do we do this 5 without making a problem? So if we do this 5 just straight up and down, we'd have a dark cell here. That would be a problem for this. So we have to connect this 5 over here like that. Now this is either T or L. This one is either T or L as well. Whoops. It could also be an I piece. I suppose that's an option. There's not going to be anything over here, because that would make a collision. Can't be anything here. What do we have? No 2 dark areas have the same shape and size. So if this is an L, this would have to be a T. So this can't be an L. That would block the 5 in. Now that has to be an I. Okay. Okay, we did it. We got there. With some misclicks and then also bad logics, but we did it. 43 minutes in. Let's see. Where else do we want to go? I know we have some static puzzles that just kind of hang out around the top of some of these little rock structures, rock formations. Let's see if we can see one. What is this, the witness? Got like trees that line up in a that's one of our mysteries, actually. So spoilers, I just did one of the mysteries. Mysteries are those puzzles where it gives you like a cryptic that you have to go find a place, and then you have to solve the puzzle that's there. In this case, it was a set of trees that lined up like a skydrop. If you ever played the game The Witness, which if you're an avid puzzler, you may have, they have all this kind of perspective lining up of things all the time over there. That's why I said, what is this, The Witness? Let's do this Pillar of Insight. There's a couple of Pillars of Insight here, actually. Let's just hit them all up. So, here we go. Parity matters. So these grids have their own parity. They're all dominoes except for one over here. So we know that this 12 needs to connect to this one. And that's all we need to know there. Now then, what do we have here? This 8 needs to pick up a... Well, hold on. Okay, so we don't have any dominoes. We have only trominos. We have 3-piece cells now. So the 7 can pick up 2 3-pieces and be fine. The 8 needs to pick up 1 3-piece. And then the 9 needs to pick up 2 3-pieces? No, hold on. Yeah, it needs to pick up 2 3-pieces. So both of these, or rather all of those, need to be light. 2 of them belong to the 9 and 1 of them belongs to the 8. So I think the 8 can pick up this one. Let's put the 7 over there, and the 9 takes the other 2. Okay. Okay, now we have viewpoint parity. So the 8's gonna have to come up here. And then do that. Now the 7 is going to have to... do this. Wait. Ah. I miscounted. Okay, viewpoint parity now. So if this one is dark... if this one is light, this one would have to be light too. So this one has to be dark. Now this either goes up, up, or right. So keep that in mind. This now has to do this, then that goes up, up. Okay. Now we have dark parity. I can't count. Or I thought it was the different color. Okay. So of this 3, there has to be a 1 in here. And this has to be a... oh, it was a underclude grid. Okay. I was here getting ready to solve the whole thing. So for this 4, we need that one to solve that lane. We need this one. That's done now. This is done. We need this to fill in this 3. We need one of these 2, but this one can't be one. So then this has to be filled in. Alright, cool. We've kind of already worked quite a bit with parity and such, so it was just a concept taste tester for you if you hadn't experienced that one before. Okay. Let's do some more pillars of insight. So in this area, we are dealing with the rectangle rule. So we need to make a size 8 without making any, like... well, with it still being a rectangle. So 6... this is incorrect. Let's have 6 go this way, 3, 3, and 2. We have to make only rectangles, so we have to think about how we can have this in terms of rectangles. So this 6 has to be like that, like this, and then like this. The rectangle pattern. Okay, now we can't make either rectangles here. We can't make a light or dark rectangle. So basically, this is going to be 2 areas of light and dark that are blocked with rectangles. So like this. And we can have another dark rectangle down here. My bad. Jump the gun on that one. Okay. A 9. So a 9 rectangle has to be a 3 by 3 or a 9 by 1. So for the 9, we know it has to be at least like this. The 6 has to be either a 1 by 6 or a 2 by 3. So we know it has to come out this way. It can't connect to this one. So it's going to go out this way. This 9 can't come out this way anymore. So that finishes that one. Oh, whoops. Those can't connect there, otherwise it makes a rectangle. Then this makes a rectangle. 4, 6, and separate those. The no rectangle rule. It makes sense, right? It makes sense, right? Okay, so anywhere that's like this, we have to fill it in first. Like, complete the rectangle. Complete the rectangle. Complete the rectangles. Have I done goofed? I've done goofed. Complete the rectangle. I don't know why I went all the way up to this corner here. There we go. Alright, complete the rectangles. This can't connect here, so it can't connect there. That rectangle is done. This one can't connect there. This can't connect here. Complete that rectangle, then this one. Now this one is boxed in. That one is boxed in. This is boxed in. And oh dear. These are all rectangles already. Don't connect them. Alright. Do not make any rectangles. Why is this a one pipper? This is like way harder than a one pipper. Okay. I see the pattern here now. Is this just a checkerboard? It is, but I missed a corner. Alright, here we go. Last one. No rectangles, but now we have gaps in the board. So we can make we can make non-rectangle shapes if the corners are a rectangle or a gap. So like here, for example, we need to fill in the rectangles. Whoops. Fill in a rectangle there. But we can't connect here. Can't connect there. But we can do this. Then this, then that. This is like really confusing when you have these gaps in the no rectangle rule board. Alright, 5. We're gonna go like this. Wrap it around this gap. The 4 is just gonna chill out down here. 11. Let's just do this. Alright, we need no rectangles of either side, and we have corners. So this is going to be quite tricky here. We also have 4 areas. What is the size of this little donut we're working with here? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 times 4. It's 28, and these numbers add up to 28. So these are going to have to perfectly block each other off and then also fill in their area. So what I'm thinking right now is let's do a 5 like this. They're basically going to need to have square boundaries with each other, but they can have a jagged boundaries with the edge of the board over here. So 7 like that. And then 9 like that. Yeah, those are definitely rectangles. if you imagine the holes in the board being rectangles. Now we've learned the no rectangle rule. Hopefully that one makes more sense when we see that. And let's see, what else do we have? We have the all-seeing monolith and seeing off by one in sight pillar. Let's go do seeing off by one. Are you a static puzzle? We're gonna do this one first, and then we'll go do seeing off by one up there. Connect all light cells is our only major rule here. Whoop. Connect all light cells. So far it's not overly difficult, there's just like a lot going on. See, one of these is going to get trapped over here. Either this is trapped like that or this is trapped like this. So this has to come up like that. We just established that's trapped, so we don't know if this goes, well, now we do, but and that's all connected now. This is all connected, and then this is all connected. Alright, not too bad. Just kind of a lot, but not too difficult overall. Alright, seeing off by one, but with numbers. Oh boy. All numbers off by one is what I meant to say. So this 2 is a 1 or a 3. Well, it can't be a 1, so it has to be a 3. Now the 3 has to be a 4. Okay, there we go. I was like... If this is as confusing to you as it is to me, then yeah. Zero has to be a 1. 1 has to be a 2. 2 has to be a 1 or a 3. Well, that one could be a 1 as well, right? This one has to be a 3, though. Yeah, it's as confusing as for me as it might be for you. This is either 2 or... This one has to be 6. This one is 4 then. Alright, these have to be 3 or... 3 or, what's the other one? 5. And they also have to basically do the same thing. Wait, do they have to do the same thing? They don't have to do the same thing. Oh, man. We need to connect all light cells here, though. So these have to come through here. in some manner. um... So if we decide these are both 3, then it's a problem, because they're both just going to be blocked in. So one of them has to be 3, and it can't be this. One of them has to be 5, and it can't be this one, so it's going to have to be that one. This one can then safely be a 3. There we go. That is so much more confusing than it looks. Alright, connect all light cells, and all numbers off by 1. So this is going to be 5. This one can't be a 1, so it has to be a 3. That one can't be a 4, so it has to be a 5. Has to be a 5. Has to be a 4. Oh gosh. Okay, these can't connect. These can't connect. This could connect. This can't connect. Now that can't connect, okay. So this has to be a 2. No light cells allowed in there. This one has to be a 3. One has to be a 3 or a 5. The light has to come down through here. Misclick. Good stuff. Okay. Now we have a puzzle shaped like the number 1 with only the number 1 in it. And we have no dominoes. Oh, we can apply our good old no domino rule, because these 1s are actually 2s. And connect all light cells. Okay, so this has to come out. Alright. Another quest down. Alright, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. We have done quite a bit. So in this video, we started tackling shifting in phase. We started tackling the highest viewpoint. We will probably go back and hit up shifting in phase a bit more next time, and maybe highest viewpoint a bit more. Those are just like really big enclaves. Well, really small enclaves with really hard puzzles in it. So don't want to hit up too many of those in the same episode. Next time we'll probably hit some of those up, and probably call it there for that episode. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time in the Islands of Insight Static Puzzle series. Whee! See ya!